Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. I'm Kholidah from class Development Economic team. In this presentation, I will discuss about Indonesia officially recession. What do you think about a recession? Recession is a period of temporary economic decline in which trade and industrial activity is reduced, generally marked by a decline in gross domestic product in 2 consecutive quarters. The meaning of the word recession can also be interpreted as a major slowdown or contraction in economic activity. A significant drop in spending generally led to a recession. The Economic Times proclaimed the slowdown in economic activity can last for several quarters, so that it really hinders economic growth. In such a situation, economic indicators such as gross domestic product, company profit, job, etc. fall and will create chaos throughout the economy. To combat trade, economists generally react by using monetary policy by introducing more money into the system, that is, by increasing the money supply. This step is done by reducing interest rates, increased spending by the government, and lowering taxes are also considered good answers to this problem. This graph shows that Indonesia economic growth in the second quarter of 2020 fell to minus 5.32% and minus 3.49% in the third quarter. What are the indicators of a recession? Recession indicator: first, decrease in gross domestic product. Second, decline in real income. Third, the number of jobs has decreased. Fourth, retail sales and the downturn in the manufacturing industry. Fifth, inflation prolonged. Sixth, deflation prolonged. Gajah Mada University economic observer Fahmi Rahdi, as reported by Kompas, explained that theoretically a country is said to be in a recession, one of which is because the economic growth of 2 consecutive quarters is at a minus value. Is Indonesia currently experiencing a recession? Currently, Indonesia is officially experiencing a recession marked by Indonesia gross domestic product in the third quarter of 2020 minus 3.49% year-on-year. Head of Central Statistics Agency Suharyanto said the performance of economic growth in the third quarter was inversely proportional to the same period in 2019. At the time, the domestic economy could still grow by 5.2%. With this position, if we compare the position in the third quarter of 2019, Indonesia annual growth position is still contraction by 3.49%, said Suharyanto in his presentation of economic growth in the third quarter of 2020. Meanwhile, despite being officially plunged into the brink of recession, Finance Minister Sri Mulyani Indrawati believes Indonesia has made it through the worst economic phase. In fact, she believes Indonesia economic growth is starting to recover from the coronavirus infection. This is reflected in the reduced depth of contraction in economic growth from 5.32% to minus 3.49%. The turning point was seen in the third quarter, which gave us great hopes for the economic to recover. In the third quarter, the worst is over, or the impact of COVID in the second quarter has been past, said Ani, her nickname, during a virtual press conference. Whereas previously it was minus 6.9% in the second quarter. Likewise, with household consumption of minus 5.5%, now minus 4%. This is supported by government spending in the context of social protection, which has increased very sharply, she explained. Likewise, from its industrial sector, where the highest growth was in the as health service, respectively grew 10.6% and 15.3%. Recession include economists at the Institute for Development of Economics and Finance, Bima Yudhistira di negara state, and economic recession can be interpreted as economic pressure on the financial or real sector. First, hard to find work because lots of new competitors and few jobs during COVID-19. Second, decline in people's purchasing power because the lost income. This can impact on the decline in national gross domestic product. Third, production of goods and services can also decline during a recession. Fourth, if it is not resolved, it can have a domino effect in the community because it can spread to many sectors. Fifth, poverty is increasing because hard to find work. Sixth, many unemployed because many workers were terminated. Facing a recession, there are a number of things that can be done to overcome a recession. First, changing the consumption pattern from tertiary consumption to primary consumption. Second, saving to face the economic crisis for those who still have income. Third, opening a new business. For example, cheap online service for people who have been laid off. Meanwhile, the government can prepare social safety nets for affected communities. Conclusion: COVID-19 makes Indonesia back into the brink of economic recession after 22 years. A recession means a decline in economic activity that lasts for months or even years. For 2 consecutive quarters of Indonesia economic growth fell to negative. Indonesia is officially experiencing a recession marked by Indonesia gross domestic product in the third quarter of 2020 minus 3.49% year on year. Thank you for attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.